The Seattle Seahawks aren't just winning games, they're rewriting the entire NFC script. At 3 wins and 1 loss, riding a 3-game surge, Seattle has gone from being a middle-of-the-pack storyline to one of the league's most electrifying watches. Just last year, their season felt like a flickering light, bright one week and dim the next. But now, every snap feels like it carries playoff weight. The shock isn't just in the standings. It's in the way this team controls the tempo, closes out drives, and thrives under pressure. Something has changed in Seattle, and it's no accident. That change starts with a bold reset. Head coach Mike Macdonald didn't just inherit a roster, he reshaped its identity. In his debut year, Seattle was a single win away from sneaking into the postseason. That was with a team still carrying the fingerprints of an old era. Year 2 looks different. The structure is tighter, the roles are sharper, and most importantly, the quarterback position has been reset with a leader who doesn't flinch when the lights burn brightest. The question hanging over the NFC isn't if the Seahawks are good, it's how high this ceiling can go if the formula keeps working. But Seattle's rise doesn't happen in a vacuum. The NFC West is unforgiving. To survive, you have to stand toe-to-toe with Sean McVay's precision and Kyle Shanahan's relentless ground attack. For years, Pete Carroll's Seahawks fell short in those trench battles, unable to consistently stop the run or dictate terms late in games. Macdonald knows history won't forgive him if those same cracks reappear. And that's what makes Seattle's offensive shift even more fascinating. Because their attack is no longer built on fireworks alone, it's built on rhythm, patience, and a quarterback who knows when to strike. Seattle's offensive evolution starts with Clint Kubiak's play calling. It isn't flashy for the sake of flash. It's calculated, designed to stress defenses without exposing the quarterback to unnecessary risk. More snaps under center, more real motion before the snap. 2 tight end sets that force linebackers to hesitate, giving the quarterback a clean read before the ball even leaves his hands. Every formation tells the defense one thing, but delivers another. And in a division loaded with elite play callers, that deception matters. The ground game has become the heartbeat. Kenneth Walker brings the lightning, slicing through edges when space opens up, while Zach Charbonnet delivers the thunder, wearing down defensive fronts snap after snap. This 1-2 punch isn't just about yards gained, it's about tempo. Their run set up the play-action dagger, the very weapon that turns methodical drives into sudden explosions. From there, Jackson Smith-Njigba stretches the sideline, Cooper Kupp punishes defenses with surgical routes, and the tight ends give easy chain-moving outlets. It's a system built on patience and precision, and its payoff shows up late in games when defenses finally break. But a system only shines if the quarterback trusts it. And this is where Seattle's story takes its sharpest turn. Enter Sam Darnold, a name many fans had written off years ago. But this isn't the same quarterback who struggled in New York or fought uphill battles in Carolina. After rebuilding himself in Minnesota, Darnold arrived in Seattle with something he hadn't had in years: stability, trust, and a coach who believes in his decision-making. Now, he's not just managing games, he's winning them. Through 4 games, Darnold has delivered 5 touchdowns with just 2 interceptions, completing 70% of his passes. But numbers don't tell the whole story. It's how he carries himself in crunch time that's rewriting the perception. Against Arizona, with the clock bleeding away and the game on the line, he threaded a dart to Jackson Smith-Njigba on the sideline. A throw that didn't just move the chains, it set the stage for Jason Myers' game-winning kick. That wasn't luck, that was composure. The kind of moment Seattle has been missing since Russell Wilson's prime. And here's what makes it even more dangerous. Darnold isn't doing this alone. His chemistry with Clint Kubiak goes back to their time in San Francisco, and that bond is showing in every snap. The offense feels smooth, synchronized, and calm even under fire. Darnold doesn't force plays. He takes the easy yard when it's there, then strikes deep when the defense finally cheats. That trust between quarterback and coordinator is rare in today's NFL, and it's exactly what turns a hot start into a lasting contender. Surrounding Darnold is a supporting cast built for versatility. Smith-Njigba's role continues to grow as a field stretcher, while Cooper Kupp uses his precise route running to open lanes underneath. Rookie tight ends A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo have emerged as red zone outlets and yards after catch weapons, giving Darnold safety valves at every level. Add in Walker's explosiveness and Charbonnet's bruising presence, and Seattle's offense becomes a puzzle with too many pieces for a defense to solve in 4 quarters. But even the best skill players need a sturdy foundation, and that's where Seattle's offensive line is starting to turn heads. Charles Cross has locked down the blind side, Abraham Lucas provides muscle on the right, and rookie Gray Zabel has added new energy inside, with coaches even experimenting with him at center to boost communication. The result? Cleaner pockets for Darnold, smoother lanes for the run game, and a rhythm that makes every play feel connected. It's no coincidence that Seattle's offense looks calmer. It's being built from the ground up, literally. And yet, for all the progress on offense, the true ceiling of this team doesn't just rest on what they can do with the ball in their hands. It's about whether their defense can hold that same standard, whether Mike Macdonald's scheme can suffocate opposing game plans long enough for Darnold and the offense to finish the job. That's where Part 2 takes us. A closer look at Seattle's defense, the areas they've already transformed, and the X factors that could decide whether this season ends in the playoffs or falls just short again. While Seattle's offense has given the team a new identity, it's the defense that's turning heads across the NFC. Mike Macdonald brought with him a standard that doesn't bend, a system built on discipline up front and chaos in the back end. And so far, it's working. Just look at the turnaround against the run. A year ago, opponents chipped away at Seattle with steady ground games. This season, those same lanes are sealed and the Seahawks are dictating terms on early downs. That starts in the trenches. Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy are eating space inside, while Jarran Reed provides the anchor that keeps rushing lanes from opening. The edges? They're set so tight that cutbacks don't even exist. Suddenly, Seattle isn't bleeding yards. They're stealing downs. When Arizona tried to flip the script and threw the ball 41 times, the result was 2 costly interceptions. That's what this defense does. It forces you to play left-handed, attacking in ways you're not built for. And in the NFL, that kind of control flips entire games. But control is only half the story. The other half is pressure, and Seattle is building it in waves. Uchenna Nwosu brings power, Boy Mafe is blossoming into a true edge weapon, and rookie Derek Hall adds fresh legs off the bench. When that pass rush collapses pockets, it feeds into a secondary that's already brimming with talent. Devin Witherspoon's fiery playmaking, Julian Love's versatility, and Kobe Bryant's steady coverage give Macdonald the chess pieces to disguise blitzes and close windows. And on the outside, Rick Woolen's length changes throwing lanes, though cutting down on penalties remains his next big step. Still, no defense is flawless. For Seattle, the concern is depth. Injuries along the defensive line could test the rotation, and in a division that forces you to play physical every single week, thin depth can unravel momentum. Against elite offensive lines like San Francisco's, Seattle can't afford to wear down late in games. And while the secondary has been sharp, one blown assignment or a mistimed flag could swing close contests in the NFC West, a division that never forgives mistakes. That's why the hidden X factors matter so much. A player like Boy Mafe, who flashed promise last season, could be the one who takes this defense from steady to dominant. Rookie Gray Zabel, already turning heads on the offensive side, represents that same next man up energy on the line if coaches decide to fully unleash him. And in the secondary, Devin Witherspoon's ability to turn defense into offense with a single play, a tip ball, a pick six, a 4th down stop, could be the spark that decides entire games down the stretch. The truth is, Seattle's margin for error will always be razor thin in this division. Facing McVay's Rams and Shanahan's 49ers twice each year means there's no hiding weaknesses. But this team doesn't look like it's hiding anymore. It looks like it's standing tall, leaning into the fight, and matching schemes with schemes. And that's where Mike Macdonald's leadership shows most clearly. His approach isn't about chasing highlight reels, it's about building a formula that wins when games get heavy, when the crowd roars, and when playoff stakes are on the line. So, where does this leave the Seahawks in the bigger NFC picture? They've proven they can start fast. They've proven they can close tight games. The next step is sustaining that standard when December rolls around. If Sam Darnold continues to play calm, if Clint Kubiak keeps the offense on schedule, and if the defense maintains its aggression without losing discipline, this team isn't just a playoff contender. It's a dark horse with the tools to shock the conference. The stage is set. Seattle doesn't need to be perfect. They need to be consistent. Because in a conference where the 49ers and Eagles sit at the top, the real challenger is the team that can combine patience with punch, control with creativity. And right now, the Seahawks look closer to that model than they have in years. The only question left is yours. Do you believe Seattle has built a true playoff-ready core, or are they still learning how to win in the biggest moments? Can they outlast the Rams? Can they push the 49ers? Or are we still watching a team that's 1 year away from breaking through? Drop your predictions in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and lock in. Because Seattle might just be the wild card that changes everything in the NFC.